Well, the Europa League Knockouts beckon for us in today's episode, but more importantly than that, I finally managed to sign Ronaldo. Hello and welcome back to Unemployed to Legends Club 4, Episode 5 with Liverpool. My name is Craig and Cope. On today's episode we have the Europa League last 16 clash against KRC Genk of Belgium. Now, since you were last with me, it's been a lot of games that have been completed ever since the Arsenal game in the last episode. A lot of the games, though, we have been doing on stream on Twitch, which I've started doing again. I'll leave the link to my Twitch down in the description below. It's been very fun doing this playthrough while on stream, but effectively killing two birds with one stone. But you should come and hang out with me there. It's been very fun, and a lot of goals, a lot of tactical tweaks have been discussed and, well, put into place while on those streams. So, as you can see, a lot of good results have happened. We drew with Chelsea, beat Newcastle, beat Arsenal at the Emirates, very pleasing. We beat Manchester United at home, and we lost to Arsenal in the FA Cup 5th round. But that's fine. If we're able to progress in Europe and keep up the good form in the Premier League, I'll be very, very happy. In fact, if I just show you the Premier League, we are top of the league, joint with Manchester United, but with a game in hand. The fact that we are at the top at this stage of the season is very, very pleasing, especially with this squad, which I don't believe is truly finished. It's nowhere near finished for me, and this summer is going to prove to be a very, very busy one, especially if we do get back into the Champions League, which hopefully will be very likely. But let us get ourselves into the first match away against Genk, who are... Actually, I haven't even shown how Genk are doing in the Belgian Pro League, which is actually loaded in the game. They are sitting third, but they're a team that just sort of thereabouts by the looks of things, because they haven't won the Belgian League at all since 2019. Actually, they finished runners-up last season, and they're more or less the second or third best team in the entirety of Belgium. We'll have to be aware of them, but we should have enough about us to hopefully see them off. So this is going to be the 11 that we're going to send out. It's going to be Suarez or Suarez. I'm going to say Suarez, screw it. Suarez is in goal. A back four of Amaral, Borja, Konate and Alexander-Arnold, with Wharton at the base of the midfield. Infantino and Jones in midfield ahead of him. It's a Catalare, CDK in attacking midfield, with Charlie Ross and Tobar up front. Charlie Ross, of course, the man for the Europa League. 2 goals in the league, but he's bagged 9 in 8 games in Europe. Yeah, that's a thing, apparently. We've got ourselves Premier League strikers, and we've got ourselves a Europa League striker. I'm more than happy with that. More than happy with that. The aim, I would love to be able to at least build something of a lead going into the second leg, because the next 2 league games that we do have are against, weirdly, third place West Ham, 2 days after this game, which is annoying. And then we've got the second leg of the Europa League, last 16, against Genk at home. And then 2 days after that, we've got Manchester City at home. No, we're home, or I think we're at home in the league. I'll assume we're at home or something, or away, I can't remember. But we got them 2 days after the Genk tie, which is the second leg. And I'm just thinking, why have the Premier League completely screwed us over for these league matches? It's not really fair. We should be playing them on a Sunday. Oh, couple that with the fact I've completely forgotten, we're in the League Cup final as well. We have a League Cup final to come against Watford. It was meant to be at the beginning of this month, and it would have been today's episode, but unfortunately they decided to swap the matches around because we got to the FA Cup 5th round, which we ultimately lost. Oh, that was poor from Infantino. I'd expect better from him there. We've just been completely caught out of place now on the counter. But, thank you, TAA. You got us out of trouble there. But we've got a League Cup final as well against Watford coming up after the Man City game, which will be Monday's episode. And Charlie Ross has just bagged, what's that, his 10th goal in Europe this season? My goodness. It's his 16th in all competitions, I think. I didn't even look at it properly. I really don't look at it properly. But the man is just immense when it comes to European competition. It's just a shame he can't get it sorted out in the league. He would be an immense 30-goal a season player. As it is, he's like 20 goals a season, which is fantastic for a 20-year-old Scottish international. But I'd like to see a little bit more from him, and Amaral has just got himself injured again. That is not good. We are going to probably take him off in a few minutes. In fact, we'll take him off now. He's just come back from injury himself. Probably shouldn't have pushed him so hard early on. But I'll tell you what, Manuel Silva is going to come on. And it's good to see that we've actually got our mostly full complement of fullbacks available, which is good to see. Manuel Silva was out for a very long time. Thankfully, he came back, I think, just before. I'm not sure if he came back in the last episode, but I think just before the new year anyway. And we go in 1-0 half time. I'd like us to see, hopefully, score a couple more goals at least. I think we do need that bit of a cushion going into the home leg. Oh god, now Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones has just come back from injury as well. We've pushed some of these guys too hard. Oh dear, oh dear. But I wanted to do a quick rotation before. Oh, good tackle by CDK. And Tobar is in. Tobar has scored. He has given us that second goal that we needed. And it's good to see him back. He was injured as well for about 4 or 5 weeks within the last episode and this episode. Poor pass by Charlie Voss there, but CDK with a good little tackle actually. First time I've actually seen him do that and actually win the ball, so well done to him. And he provides the assist and exactly what we needed. Curtis Jones, I'm going to take off around the hour mark. I think he can only play about, 75 minutes anyway. Certainly I think that's the case with Tabar as well. He'll have to come off as well. Samuel Ricky is going to go on. I think we will take off Tobar soon as well. Got Ant Farley on the bench. He's actually been getting a bit more game time as well because we've been trying to rotate the squad. And thankfully he's rewarded us with a couple of goals. Thank you for taking that down, Borja. I did not want you to head that. Right, just playing it out from the back. Very, very... So for goodness sake, what is with the passing today? Do not start this. Do not start this with the sloppy passing. Oh, thank you, Ricky. Finally, somebody with a bit of common sense in central midfield. Good pass into Ricky from Tobar. He's got options in the box. How CDK, man. Your finishing is awful, man. Right, we are going to make a few changes, and Farley is going to come on for Tobar, as we mentioned earlier. Infantino is tired, so what we're going to do, Stingel will come on and just swap with Adam Wharton. So he's going to sit deep in the deep line playmaker role. Wharton could go as the box-to-box. And I think we've got one more sub. We'll just save it for a few minutes. Borja, I'm looking at bringing off. TAA can probably rest for the next match. It depends on how bad Amaral is, because obviously he went off injured. Borja can go off for Kim Min Jae. Oh, we've got no more stoppages. Oh no, Borja is going to be knackered. He's the one player who I kind of just wanted to take off. Never mind, so all we're going to be able to do then is a bit of game management. Just try and slow everything down. There's no need to go mad. And just try and take a 2-goal lead back to Anfield for us, where hopefully we see ourselves into the quarter-finals, for God's sake, guys. I know we've got 30 seconds left, but don't be stupid now. Farley, he's done his best. He's done what he could do. I'm just hoping this is one of those highlights where absolutely nothing happens. With just 20 seconds to go. Thank you, Silva, for getting that clear. My God. This team makes me nervous defensively. Thank goodness. It is full time. 2-0. We take it back to Anfield. And now hopefully that's 1 foot into the quarterfinals of the Europa League. Now, let's just go and sort ourselves out against West Ham before we get to that next game. So I mentioned at the start of the episode that we did sign Ronaldo finally, and I completely forgot to show you him at the beginning of the episode, so we're going to be doing that now. He came in at the beginning of January. We signed him, the 28-year-old Brazilian striker from Tottenham, for a bit more of a cut price fee this time. £40 million, rising to potential £45 million. This is much better than what we planned in the summer, where we had agreed a fee of about £64 million, something like that. And then Tottenham bottled their own transfer by not getting a replacement in time. Ronaldo forced a move through. We got him for cheaper. Happy days, because he has gone on and he scored 5 goals for us so far in 12 appearances. 5 goals, 2 assists. I'd consider that a decent return for his first half season so far at the club. Of course, he's only just settling in here. Let's see how he does after a full pre-season. We also did sign another player as well, another centre-back, Leandre de Bolla, 22-year-old Belgian centre-back. We signed him from Brighton in the Championship for £20 million. He is homegrown in nation because he's got English second nationality. He's capped for the Belgian under-21s though, but he could still yet declare for the English national team. I mean, I don't know how likely that is. He's not even capped for Belgium at this point, so I doubt he's going to be getting into the England setup either. He has played a few games for us, 7 overall. He has literally just come back from injury though, so he'll be on the bench for this game against Genk. As far as players going out, the only one of note really was Joel Alessandro, 22-year-old Argentinian central midfielder. He's gone to Lorient in France, where he's apparently having a good time, and there is an optional fee on him for I think about £5 million plus instalments. So we shall see if they want to take up that option at the end of the season. But before we get to the end of the season, we've obviously got a lot still to get through. So first up, this is the 11 that we're going to send out for the second leg against Genk. That'll be Suarez in goal, or Suarez as we're calling him now. Silva, Saravia, Canate and Williams are the back four, with Wharton at base in midfield, Infantino and Ricky in central midfield. Anderson Luiz is back from a knock in attacking midfield. I want to give CDK a bit of a rest, with Ross and Tobar up front. Just before we get into the game as well, should also note a nice 3-0 victory against West Ham in the last game in the league, which means we are top of the league by 2 points and a game in hand. Lovely stuff, looking good, not only for qualification for the Champions League next season, but of course still in the title hunt. 8 games left of the season. We've got Manchester City next. I will be skipping over that match just purely because we've got the League Cup final straight afterwards. So there's a lot happening over the next few games, so let alone the next couple of months in-game before the end of the season. We take the 2-0 lead from the first leg into this match, and we hope to see our place in the quarterfinals of the Europa League. As much as we want to do well in the league, we also want to do well in the Europa League. I do have grand designs on a long run in this competition, not only just because it's a trophy, but also the Europa League. If you win the Europa League, you go into the Champions League as well, so it's a nice little second option, but hopefully we'll be securing that in the league anyway, because realistically that's the better way of doing it. You don't have to... What a lovely header by Charlie Ross, 17th goal of the season. He's done it again in Europe. But yeah, qualifying for the Champions League through the league takes the pressure off doing it in Europe, because of course it's going to be completely different calibers of team that we're going to come up against in the Europa League. You've got the likes of Chelsea, Anderlecht, Monaco, Fiorentina still in there. Actually, we should have a look. One thing I should point out, Atalanta also there as well. Should point out from the first leg, Hertha Berlin smashed Hearts 6-0. And Anderlecht smashed Chelsea 5-2. I could not believe that when I actually saw it, but Chelsea are 5-2 down going into the second leg. We have a look at the scores in a moment, as we're trying to win the ball back here. And go on, Ross, he should be getting to that ball. Nope, he absolutely didn't. But we have won it back. Silva, play it through, man. Oh, off the bar by Anderson Luiz. That's a good hit, actually, from attacking midfield. Let's have a look at some of the scores. So Atalanta 4-1 up against Sporting. Hertha Berlin are 8-0 up on aggregate. They're through. Rangers are 1-0 up on aggregate against Real Sociedad. Ricky tries to play the ball through. Didn't quite happen. Didn't see the Chelsea result. Oh my God, Infantino with a pile driver that's just off the bar. Chelsea are 2-1 up, but they're 6-4 down on aggregate. My goodness, 6-4 down on aggregate. That's one hell of a tie, by the way. Anderlecht, though, just about holding on, but I feel Chelsea are going to be the favourites at Stamford Bridge. But let's just sort ourselves out. We are 1-0 up going into half-time. 3-0 up on aggregate. Keep up going into the second half, lads. Let's see this through. Let's just finish this. I don't know what that free kick was. I know you're trying to get Tobar to move forward, but that's not going to happen, is it? Ball played down, Saravia. It's a good opportunity to see how Saravia does at centre-back because I'm not convinced of him at left-back. Oh, Roston nicked the ball back there. And there's Anderson Luiz. He is through. Anderson Luiz gets his goal. His 8th goal of the season. Great comeback from the knock he's had over the past 2 or 3 games. He's a good little option, actually, to have in attacking midfield. If CDK's not playing, then we can play Anderson Luiz. You've also got Diogo Migliorini there as well. But he's not registered for the Europa League. Plus, he's still only 19 years old. Anderson Luiz is just about to hit the prime of his career. He's like 23, 24 years old now. Really, he should be getting a lot more of the game time. Saravia, just over from him. Well, let's see, update on the scores. Still 2-1 to Chelsea. Lyon have turned it around against Fiorentina. They lost the first leg 2-1. So they're 3-2 up on aggregate. Lots going on here in the Europa League at the moment. Silva driving into the box. There is Anderson Luiz. That's his 2nd goal of the game. And he's much more comfortable as an attacking midfielder. Way more comfortable. He started the season as a striker. And apart from scoring in the first minute of the first game against Brentford, I wasn't really too convinced by him as a striker. He actually got lucky there. The defender just didn't clear the ball at all. And now we're just looking at some of the fitness of some of these players. Tobar needs to come off, and Farley's probably going to come on. I don't want Tobar to get too knackered that he's just going to get injured again. And Anderson Luiz gets his hat-trick. Oh my god, that's the first time he scored a hat-trick since I've joined this club. I think. I'm going to assume, yes, that is the case. Apologies, by the way, if the game looks a bit slow. For some reason, my computer's struggling. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if you can hear like the fans in the background, but it's just a bit noisy, which is not really normal. I normally call this computer the silencer because it's so silent most of the time. Oh, I forgot to take Tobar off. We'll just do it here. Ant Farley's going to come on. We got another couple of stoppages anyway, so that's absolutely fine. Suarez keeping hold of the ball. Fantastic stuff. I hope this video is able to render in time then, and the computer doesn't go on a mad one over the next hour, because I need to get this video out. Oh, that was very poor by Saravia, and I thought that was a goal. The game just lags there. Says everything about how much this thing is struggling. Bless this computer. Right, here's 75 minutes. We've made like 1 sub. Let's just start to make a few changes. Paul Williams played a lot of games recently. TAA is going to come on. He can finish this game. Curtis Jones can come on for Ricky. And the bowler can come on for Saravia. That was kind of poor from Saravia, to be fair. And Ronaldo. Do you know what? We've made 4 subs. We've got 1 more stoppage this time. So we'll save the last sub for the final 10 minutes. No need to go mad. Don't need to make all 4 changes at once. Turbo's already off, as is noted. Let's just start wasting the time down. 6-0 up on aggregate. And if we don't need to make that extra substitution, then we don't need to. It's absolutely fine. Updated scores. Chelsea still only winning 2-1. It looks like they're going to be bowing out, which is good. Which means we are the last English side left in the entirety of the Europa League. Very well done, boys. We're into the quarterfinals. And whoever we get will be a nice little surprise for the next episodes. I'm hoping we've got the draw coming up. The draw may be made before the Carabao Cup final, which of course will be the next episode. There it is, rescheduled. Don't know why it's there. Midweek as well. But that will be Monday's episode, where hopefully I'll be able to show you who we've got in the Europa League quarterfinals coming up. If you have enjoyed this episode, make sure that you hit the like button down below and smash the big red subscribe button so you don't miss the end to this season, as something special could be happening. We'll see how many trophies we could potentially end up with, and also secure a qualification for the Champions League. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for your support on the series so far, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode.